Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Skylar Dream and I am a self-taught digital artist, crocheter, and small business owner. And I know you guys haven't gotten Kagayuki as part of the intro in a hot minute, but they have taken up residence in that corner. So you guys can't really say you can miss Kagayuki because they're still part of the channel. And if I ever don't feel like putting myself on camera, they'll definitely be here still. So it is Monday and kind of similar tone to last week, where a lot of the tasks that we're going to be working on moving forward are going to be on the administrative side, especially now that creation period is over. I'm kind of focusing more on trying to get things ready to put onto the shop and onto the Etsy. That way, I can just start selling things as well as working on advertisements. So, where we are right now, I still have not worked on getting product photos together. I still need to set aside a time to do filming, photography, and I'm thinking the best time to do that would more than likely be over the weekend when I have the most amount of sunlight to work with, because I'm thinking of trying to work with more natural lighting than trying to figure out a lighting setup that makes sense and won't overexpose things too much. If anything, I might try to experiment with my lighting setup, but I don't really have the best lights to be doing that. So I'm going to try working with natural lighting over the weekend. Um, because I could do it after work, but I'll be completely honest, when I come back from work, I just feel tired. I'm just trying to like do small things to get myself ready for the next day and get in a little bit of rest time. So I don't really have the most natural light to work with after work. Um, so the best time to probably get all of that out of the way is more than likely going to be the weekend. And yeah, so we still need to get product photos done. What I'm thinking of working on in the meantime is getting started on the product listings. So getting the descriptions, the titles, tags, at the very least typed up so I can just go ahead and copy and paste them over into the shops. Um, the other thing I'm planning to do, and I've mentioned this in the past couple of videos, that I kind of like the way some artists set up a as the main image a graphic where you get the designs as the original JPEGs and they're pretty much set onto a background. So I'm thinking of doing that for the stickers, the prints, and the charms. So you could see what the designs look like before. You could pretty much just see the design first before looking at the acrylic charm or the sticker or the print itself. So I'm going to get started on working on those templates, and I'm looking up some information on both Etsy and BigCartel. And I'm realizing that I may have to create two separate templates for BigCartel and Etsy, because Etsy, I'm looking at up the ideal dimensions online, and by the looks of it, they recommend a 4x6 image, so pretty much a vertical image. And apparently that's what works best when it comes to Etsy. So if anything, I'm going to create a 4x6 template for Etsy. And then BigCartel, it's pretty much a 1-to-1 ratio. So it's going to be a square. So I'm thinking of creating two separate templates for both sites. And in my opinion, so long as I have the backdrop and the template set up, I think we'll be good. And it's going to be one of those things that I'm not sure if I'm going to set up a separate template for each series, or if I'm just going to have like one generic template that I use that kind of just falls back onto my branding, which, to be completely honest, I'm not 100% sure how that's going to work out, given that some of my branding involves the light mint as well as much darker shades of teals, reds, and purples. And that may not always blend in well depending on the IP or the series. So we'll see what I end up doing for the template. But to be completely honest, I really do just want something that I can reuse pretty quickly and just kind of be able. Because one of the things to remember is that I am a one-man circus. So I am the artist, I am the designer, I am the office manager, I am, what else am I? I did say graphic designer. So I am also the photographer. Like, when you're a one person business, there's a lot of hats that you're wearing. So, what and in order to kind of just make things less daunting and trying to just make things easier on yourself, like the more assets that you can potentially reuse for your business, I think the better, just to make things a lot easier on you, because having to remake things over and over again can get pretty exhausting. So what I'm hoping is to get together a pretty generic template that I can use. Um, if anything, I may have to make sure that it is neutral enough, or at least come up with multiple templates so that way I can swap them out based off of the feel of the artwork. So it's definitely one of those things that we will have to wait and see how we're going to best manage this. I'm going to be doing a little bit more market research and seeing how other people handle it. Um, for me personally, like I tend to fall back on Mushroom because I do like how simplistic her site tends to be. But yeah, Mushroom, Circus Usagi, um, Fee Hawberries. Those are some of the artists that kind of look at how they set up their shops to kind of get a better idea of, okay, this is what I could potentially do for product photos. I also found a channel on, or rather an account on Instagram that kind of gives advice on setting up product photos. So yeah, I kind of want to do a blend of that graphic design element for a lot of the designs, especially specifically for the illustrations, and then setting up the actual items themselves in a way that's aesthetically pleasing, because I'm looking at a lot of my product photos now, and the way they are photographed, it's very simplistic, very straightforward, but they're not the most appealing or like the most eye-catching. So I do want to improve on product photos, and still working on the marketing piece, but I also don't have the images that I need in order to do marketing. So the sooner I can get all of these images compiled, the better, because then I can begin advertising. And what I'm thinking is that if I'm going to do a shop drop, I'm going to schedule it out for the first week of June, at the very latest the second week of June. So that is what the plan is right now. Um, but yeah, we're slowly gonna get to work on all of that, and so let's get to work. I was going to pull up some images on Etsy to kind of show what I meant by that 4:6 ratio, but I think Etsy might be down. So yeah, that is unfortunate. Uh, I'll show you guys that 4:6 ratio that I was referring to earlier. But for right now, this is so like I mentioned, my shop is currently on vacation, but this is what it looks like from the editor's view. So yeah, the image ratios on BigCartel are pretty much 1-to-1, so a square. And those are still missing product images. So we're gonna have to work on our product photos. So like I was saying with this, for the prints themselves, so that you can get a better picture of the prints, I'm thinking of just having the plain designs lined up next to each other. So, and to kind of just show, let's look at Mushroom's site actually really quick, because I like the way Mushroom has her stuff set up. Also, she's an artist that I really love. Whenever I get the chance, I literally just buy up all her IDV prints. Okay, so I do have corkboard. Okay, you know what? I could do that. But yeah, so by the looks of it, these are kind of set up with some sort of like background, not necessarily the... Oh, okay. So the way Mushroom does it, now that I think about it, am I getting right pronouns? I'm assuming her? Anyway, back on track. Back on task. So by the looks of it, the way Mushroom handles her product photos is that acrylic charms will have some sort of setup with a background. I'm assuming something that aesthetically matches or at least fits with the current design of the charms. And so the other thing that she does too when it comes to the stickers themselves, One thing I'm noticing here, it looks like they're set to some sort of patterned background. And I really like the way she keeps it very simple, but it's still very aesthetically pleasing and it fits for whatever series that she's working with. So I think kind of going back to, yeah, this isn't. So yeah, Mushroom is one of the artists that I look to whenever I look at product photos to see how she's doing it. So some of her older product images are set to a white background, which is what I'm currently doing right now. But I kind of want to do a little bit more of this where there is like some sort of like interesting background. Yeah, because I do have like I have a cork board. I do have a cork board. Because what Toy Bottle does is she'll do the designs, but then she'll do the product images of the acrylics. So the thing is that I have a few sticker designs that mirror my acrylic charms, so I don't want that to get confused. So I may have to do, yeah, I don't want to accidentally confuse my stickers with my acrylic charms. So one of the things that might be possible is that I just do something similar to this, where I just show the images for the stickers set to some sort of background, but I'm pretty sure this is a sticker sheet. But pretty much just put the designs for the stickers as a sort of graphic design rather than a product image, and then have product images follow suit. We'll see how we manage this, because one of the things that like I said, I do enjoy having the images themselves set to some sort of background and then showing the products themselves. But I can also see that how that could potentially lead to some confusion if I use the same assets for both the acrylic charms and the stickers, because a lot of my acrylic charms also mirror sticker designs at the moment. So I think I may have to change my approach with how I handle the acrylic charms and do aesthetically pleasing like shot of all of them, and then do individual product photos. And then with the stickers, I put them all on one patterned background, for example, and then show the product images. So I think that's how we're going to approach the stickers versus the acrylic charms, because I do not want to cause any confusion when it comes to trying to purchase one. Like, you're expecting to buy an acrylic charms, but then you accidentally order the sticker instead. So yeah, we might have to do that. Yeah, I think the stickers are going to be put onto some sort of patterned background, and then for the acrylic charms, we're going to do more aesthetic photos for those. I think that's what's going to be the game plan for the acrylic charms. But yeah, Mushroom, when it comes to product photos, I do take inspiration from her and how she sets things up. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. Now let's see how Circus Usagi does it. And these are artists that I've been like, I buy their stuff whenever I get the chance, because Circus, oh, shop is on break. Well, she still has her. So yeah, okay, so yeah, charms will probably get the more aesthetically pleasing setup of the products themselves. And then, well, she does do I know these are older products. I know that for sure that's an older product. I don't see the Haikyuu ones anymore. But yeah, I think the acrylic charms will have to do a more aesthetic background just so that they don't accidentally get confused for the stickers. Sticker designs. She also does images of the stickers themselves, but I think I kind of want to do show the designs on a pattern background and then do the product images. So yeah, I tried doing this with my Dia stickers. I kind of like it, but at the same time, I think, yeah, I just don't think I got a good picture of them, to be completely honest. But yeah, we're going to do a pattern background, and then we'll do the product images of the stickers themselves. Then the keychains will get the more aesthetic because, like I said, right now they are set to a plain background. I think I do want something a little bit more decorative, just to get a little bit more attention. And then for the art prints. So right now, this is the way I'm photographing them. So I'm, once again, very similar to the stickers. What I'm thinking is having the, and I think Mersham actually does this with her prints. And where are the IDV prints? So yeah, pretty much just have the images set to some sort of pattern background where you can clearly see what the design is. Or just literally the print itself. Because this setup is good for individual prints. And then having this sort of setup for like any like print sets. And I like the way she keeps it simple, white background, polka dots, or like some sort of simple grid. So I think that's kind of what I want to aim for, is something simple and reusable, but a little closer to my branding. Oh wait, $50 free shipping. Am I caught up on the IDV prints? I want to say I am, but I'm not sure. Again, oh wait, do I have... I'm pretty sure I have... I'm also sure I have you. I don't think she's been adding to her IDV prints. I don't see any of the new hunters or survivors. Okay. Back on task. Reasons I can't quit my day job. Anyway, back on task. And then, of course, the amigurumi, they're going to have something that's a little bit more artistic than me trying to just bunch up my blanket and have them displayed that way. So, not to mention I have the acrylic risers now, so it might make it easier to kind of display things. But yeah, goal when it comes to the photography side is just to make things a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. Prints, their original designs are going to be set to some sort of background. Same thing with the stickers. Just the design set to some sort of background. And then the acrylic charms are going to follow suit when it comes to the amigurumi in terms of an aesthetically pleasing background before doing like any form of product image. I'm even thinking like for the prints themselves, I'm just going to keep things simple and just have the designs like displayed on because at least for the prints, like all you need to know is what designs are you getting. So I think I'm going to stick to designs on a simple background for the prints. Similar thing with the stickers, but then show the product themselves for the stickers. And then acrylic charms are going to be more aesthetically pleasing alongside the amigurumi. So I think that's going to be the game plan for setting up the product listings for both Etsy and BigCartel, given that both Etsy and BigCartel are going to have their own templates. So let me get started on a few patterned backgrounds for all my stuff. So I think that's the game plan. It is Tuesday. I did not stream today. I didn't even make an announcement or anything. Not like Twitter is letting me post anything right now. So, yeah, I haven't been able to post things on Twitter for some reason the past couple of days. I have no idea why, and I do not have the time or energy to fight with Twitter. But I digress. It is Tuesday. I did not stream today because I did want to get started on cleaning up a little bit and tidying up and putting some of the things from the market away, which, surprise, surprise, I still have not kept all the things from the market because I just simply have not had the time or energy to do so. Because tidying up is one of the items on the to-do list aside from all the other admin things that I need to do for my business. But yeah, I'm pretty much going to put the streams on a little bit of a back burner. I don't want to say maybe until next week because I can't make any promises, but the thing that I do know is that the sooner I can get things together to begin advertising the shop drop within the first week of June, the better. Because I also do want to take inventory on my current collection of yarn. Because if I do open up custom orders to things like the Chepzillas, the Dongos, the two-headed bear or the bear cat. I want a list of yarns that I currently have available to customers so that they know, hey, this is a yarn I have on hand. If you select from this pool of yarn, then I can get started immediately. If you do not see a color that you would like, then please let me know. I may just need to order the yarn. But yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to do an extra charge if I do need to order the yarn as well, especially if it's not something already available with Bernat or Big Twist. So yeah, those are things that I need to take into consideration if I'm going to open up that option. Or at the very least, if I do not have a certain color available, I do want to I want to, at the very least, let my customer know that, hey, I don't have this yarn right now. It's going to take a little bit longer for me to get your order to you because I need to wait for the yarn to get to me. But yeah, that is one of the things that I want to do with my yarn. And pretty much I have all my products aside from the prints out. So I can begin weighing and putting in their weights, taking inventory, and slowly start recording things. And with a lot of the products out and about, I can also set a few things aside so that I can begin working on product photos over the weekend, because the main goal is to tidy up a little bit more throughout the week. That way, when the weekend rolls around, I can just kind of focus in on working on product photos and getting assets and things that I can begin making posts on social media just to begin advertising the shop reopening in June. So yeah, I'm still going to make it a goal to reopen the shop within the first week of June. But I'm going to see how this week and this weekend goes, and then we'll see how if it's going to be feasible to do it within the first week or if I'll push it back another week. But that is pretty much going to be the goal. I'm just doing a lot of admin and cleanup. Last week, I pretty much took it as a bit of a rest week. Now I just need to get back to work and start doing whatever I can little by little so that we can get everything ready on time. But yeah. Yeah, pretty much tore down pieces of my display. The little cover-ups that I made for my grid panels, I kept the ones that looked okay and threw away some of the more janky looking ones, because if by the next con or by the next market, I do want to put in an investment towards getting better graphics for the displays. So I might actually go out and get something professionally printed. And I've seen people say like, oh, you'll want to use foam board with something that you get printed. So beginning to look at tutorials and seeing what other people do to get their displays together, and I'm probably going to try mimicking certain things that I've seen there. I've seen people do like the full color DIY panel using the grid panels where they cut off all the grids and then they kind of create like an insert or something that pretty much just wraps around like the outer wires. But yeah, a lot of things to get done right now. I kind of just want to get everything in order together and make it easier for when the weekend rolls around and I can really just focus in on doing product photos. So yeah, right now that is the plan, and right now just rewound a couple of more skeins of yarn. I think I'm going to slowly look through the skeins that no longer have labels on them and trying to see if I can identify which colors they are so I can at least document those at the very least. And I was thinking of like weighing a few things tonight and just recording some of their weights. And I also still need to do the sticker app versus Vogue race comparison. We're kind of back to, there's a lot to get done, but this time instead of prepping for the market, it's going to be prepping for the shop reopening and just getting my apartment back under control. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now, doing a little bit of cleaning and a little bit of inventory. So the work never stops. All I'm gonna say is I had just enough to get the cat card. I'm so happy. it has been a hot minute since I've come on here and talked. For starters, it is Sunday, and I hope you guys have been enjoying the ASMR portions of the vlog. I'm probably going to do more of that. I haven't been filming the past few days, mainly because nothing really exciting to update on aside from updating Big Cartel. Today, I'm doing the photo shoots for some of the products. The Chubzillas are actually going to wait for tomorrow because I do have two more Chubzillas in the work because I did get started on the body for two of them while I was editing the vlog. So, yeah, we have two more Chubzillas, more than likely going to be finished by tomorrow. And I wanted to get photos of all of them together before I wanted to get those two done first before getting photographs of all of them together. I still need to photograph Nessie and the bear cat. But for right now, this is pretty much the pile that has gotten done. And I made the executive decision that the ducks and the onigiri, their product photos are good as they are, so I didn't bother updating them. I did redo the photos for the lads blowboos. Um, don't really care enough about the loaf cats to redo product photos for them. And we did get to the dongos, the narwhals, and the jackalopes. So pretty much these have all been photographed. I've also gone ahead and taken photographs of the acrylic charms, and then the stickers are going to be mainly a graphic. So for the most part, uh, product photos are getting closer and closer to done. And I pretty much made a makeshift photo setup using a bed sheet and the wire grids. So these came in perfectly. So they became multi-purpose, which I love. So yeah, we have the makeshift photo backdrop. I did take other photos um, using tables, and I remembered I had these fake plants, so got these guys out too, just to give a little bit more for the jackalopes. But yeah, today has been mainly product photos and working on the bodies of another two Chubzillas. And the past couple of days, yesterday, I worked a little bit more on graphics for the stickers. And then I went to a play with a friend, which I think was more of a dance showcase than an actual play. So that was interesting. And then Friday, what was Friday? Yeah, what was Friday? What did I do Friday? Oh yeah, Friday I ended up just doing a couple of chores and then swinging by the night market and just ended up chatting up some of the vendors. So yeah, that's been my weekend. I haven't really been home all too much, but finally got today to work on getting some photographs done for the new amigurumis, and the acrylic charms are gonna have their photos. And yeah, that is pretty much the Sunday update. I'm low key kind of blanking on what else I've done, but I think that's pretty much the gist of it. So yeah, I'm gonna resume product photos tomorrow because it is a holiday and I get the day off work. So I'm going to do Nessie and the Bearcat tomorrow. And now that I'm slowly running out of sunlight, I may shift gears and focus on getting the two new Chubzillas done, and maybe even the gargoyles finished. So it's going to turn into a crocheting evening or not. If not, I will take a break and watch some anime like I told myself I would. But yeah, that is Sunday so far. It's been a while since you guys have seen Kagayuki, and because I don't feel like putting on a mask, they are going to be wrapping up the blog this week. It's been a while. It really has. I really need to bring them back onto the channel. But anyway, so after wrapping up the photo shoot, I pretty much just made dinner, then told myself I would crochet and work on a few more things before going to bed, which I failed. Ended up doom scrolling on TikTok for a good long while. And I think what ended up happening was just I reached my limit. So after dinner, like my brain was just like, we're not working anymore. We are going to rest. We are going to relax and we are going to goof off, even though you are telling yourself we need to get work done. So yeah. Tomorrow, I will be setting aside time to wrap up some of the photo shoots. I still haven't finished the gargoyles. I think the gargoyles I'll just finish at a later date. They aren't as pressing because I'm not doing a full group photo. So yeah. Do have product photos, and I do need to update my portfolio to include the new crochet pieces as well as the redos for some of the acrylic charms and then the newer products as well. I'm going to get that posted because there are three events that I want to submit applications to in terms of markets. So one of them, there's FujoCon, which is slotted for March of next year, so March 2027. Those applications are open, and um, hope that one I would really love if I got accepted to it because I really do love BL. So yeah, FujoCon is going to be one of the ones I apply to. I noticed that there is a Love and Deep Space event, so I'm going to put in an application for that as well. And there is one more convention as well, and that is going to be SAC Anime. So well, SAC Anime's application's open June 5th. I could probably do FujoCon's application ASAP. Same thing with that Love and Deep Space event. So yeah, um, thankfully I have a couple of pieces for Love and Deep Space, but if I do get accepted to that event, I will be making more. So I do want to do the second round of myths, and I also have the stripper AU. So um, or pole dancing, whichever one you want to use. But yeah, I do have a few more Love and Deep Space pieces that I really want to work on, and if anything, the upcoming event will be more motivation to do so. I also want to do crochet pieces of the plush toys that are supposed to represent each of the boys. So the crow for Silas, the snowman for Zane, the little alien for Xavier, the pufferfish for Raphael, and then the apple for Caleb. I do want to make a Mugirumi of those too. So if anything, that will be a good motivation to get those done ASAP. Um, aside from that, I so aside from that, getting applications in and stuff, um, did work a little bit more on the card. Made it one tiny adjustment because I realized I didn't like the way it was labeled, so I did make a tiny little tweak to that. And I need to start posting on social media, especially if I want to do that 2 week shop reopening in early June. Well, if I start doing the advertisements now, it's only going to be 1 week, then shop reopening, unless I set it, for example, I think if I set it so that shop reopens maybe around June 7th or June 8th, I think that would be a good timeline. Maybe June 7th. Yeah, maybe June 7th. I'm thinking. Yeah, so so once I get all the photo shoots done and then all the items listed, one of the things I'll be hopping onto tomorrow as well is working on a few social media posts and getting a few drafts ready so that I can just begin dropping them over the next 2 weeks before shop reopens. And hopefully this performs better, especially now that I have TikTok and Instagram. Twitter, I need to start posting on Twitter more and Bluesky because I kind of let the ball drop on the social media end. So, gonna be improving the marketing, and I will be trying to get myself to post more regularly and actually schedule more posts and just reposting art, which is I think what I need to do. But yeah, so yeah, that is it for Sunday. I probably should really go to bed. Thankfully, I have the day off tomorrow, so I'll be able to do a lot more things tomorrow. And one of the things I really need to get better on is actually sitting down and giving myself those breaks that I promised myself once the market would be over, but haven't done that. So tomorrow, I think I'm going to get a little bit of work done, and then I'm going to set aside the evening to do some journaling and actually watch anime like I keep saying I will. So yeah, that wraps up this week's vlog. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Good night. Bye bye.